we are going to discuss a web automation framework developed using Selenium and TestNG. This will help you to automate your web testing easily with all the required functionalities like cross-browser testing, error handling, reporting including taking screenshots, keyword-driven and data-driven tests, etc. Let's discuss the components of the framework in this video, and we will discuss the framework in detail and certain implementations done with Selenium to automate the examples in subsequent videos. We use Excel to maintain the object repository. There will be 3 columns in this Excel sheet. The first column, object, is used to define a user-friendly variable name to identify the objects. As an example, we can use page name, object name and object type like text box, button, etc. to define the variable name. As we know, Selenium will identify objects from the object properties like XPath, ID, name, etc. These object properties will be specified in the third column, and the corresponding value will be specified in the second column. For each test case, we should have a separate Excel workbook to define the actions as keywords and pass the data to parameterize the tests. In short, this framework is a hybrid automation framework, meaning this is keyword-driven as well as data-driven, and these keywords and data will be defined in Excel. This Excel sheet will have keyword, object and object type columns. Object and object type columns refer to the object repository Excel to get the corresponding values, so user can just maintain the objects at one location. Data for the actions will be passed via iteration columns, and a particular test will iterate according to these columns. Moving to the framework implementation, read Excel file class implemented with POI will read the Excel files. Read properties class will help to read the properties file, which contains the global properties like URL to home page, implicit wait time, etc. UI operation class will perform the actual operations. This class implements 2 features. One is to perform the actions like click, enter text, etc. The other one is to get the objects by its properties. Execute test main class will drive a test execution. Each individual test class will call this main class to perform the tests. The execute test method will read each action from the Excel file and perform it by calling the perform method of a operation class. Get data from data provider main method will create the array of variables which will be populated with data for each action for a given iteration. Common actions like invoke web browser, go to home page, etc., which can be used as test setup actions, can be defined in this class as well. Also, any utility action like taking screenshots can be defined in this class too. We can have different classes to run different test cases. TestNG has been used to drive the tests. After method, before method, data provider annotations are being used to drive the tests. The detailed implementations will be discussed separately. You can download the code from the link given in the description as well.